Nancy. She's always faithful to be here if she can possibly make it. Thank you. Yeah. So I don't see the chamber rep here, so we'll move on. Welcome the press, if any press is in the chambers. Also, any of you that are joining us tonight on our website or any social media that this might be seen on. Our first item of business is additions and deletions to the agenda. Mr. City Manager.
Mayor, I have a request to add a closed session, which would be number 7, and renumber the others after that. The closed session would be for personnel and also attorney-client privilege.
Okay, thank you. What's the pleasure of council?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as amended by our city manager.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? You may record your votes. The vote is 5-0. That's unanimous, so that has been approved. Before we move on, we have 2 seats empty tonight. Both members are out with excused absences, one due to health problem and the other death in the family. So we'll recognize those things tonight. And now we'll move on to item 3, public forum. And tonight we do not have anyone to sign up for public forum, so we'll move on.
Mayor, can you pause
yes.
for a moment?
Yes.
We've lost our audio feed. I'm not sure exactly why.
Okay.
Jay just texted me. Testing? Jay, testing? I don't see why. Okay, it's back. Mayor, it's back.
Okay, thank you for that. We're now down to recognitions and presentations. We have a proclamation tonight for National Golf Month, and Council Member Neil Grimes will present this for us.
Anyone that would like to, please join me.
Don't be shy.
No, back to the camera. Come on.
There you go. Where you gonna stand?
Okay, all right. Proclamation National Golf Month, August 2025. Whereas golf is a sport that promotes physical fitness, mental well-being, and social interaction, offering a unique blend of exercise, relaxation, and camaraderie. And whereas National Golf Month is celebrated each August to encourage people of all ages and skill levels to engage in the sport of golf, fostering a love for the game and an appreciation for the outdoors. And whereas the city of Thomasville, North Carolina, is proud to be home of the beautiful Winding Creek Golf Course, a premier destination for golfers in our community and beyond. And whereas Winding Creek Golf Course provides an excellent venue for residents and visitors to enjoy the sport, improve their skills, and participate in local tournaments and events. And whereas the city of Thomasville recognizes the economic, social, and health benefits that golf brings to our community, contributing to the overall quality of life for our residents. Therefore, Raleigh York Jr., Mayor of the City of Thomasville, hereby proclaims August 2025 as National Golf Month in Thomasville, North Carolina, and encourages residents and visitors to take advantage of the opportunities to play golf and celebrate the sport that brings us together. This 18th day of August 2025, signed Raleigh York Jr., Mayor of the City of Thomasville. and I will present this to our Recreation Director, Corey Tobin. Thank you,
sir.
thank you. Couple more little tidbits. You know I got something to say, and I'll let these guys talk. The Winding Creek Golf Course was built in 1996 under a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people didn't like it. But it was built over a landfill that we were required, a closed landfill, that we were required to monitor for 100 years, 30 years. At least. A lot of years. And so instead of spending money just to monitor it, they bought extra land and built a really nice golf course. And in addition to being unpopular by many for a long time, it was not profitable for a long time. And I'm going to take some of this guy's thunder. But last year, there was over $1 million worth of revenue and close to $135,000 of net profit. So, here to Winding Creek.
Yes, sir. Thank you very
You guys come on in here. Do what you got to do.
much.
You do the speaking.
Okay, I'll speak real quick to the council. I'll turn to face them as well. So thank you, Councilman Grimes. We have our golf superintendent, Alan Crockett, here with us, our golf pro, Jason Gentle, and our golf committee member, Adam Leisure, attending with us tonight. We're very proud of all the things that the golf course continue to do to be a part of our community. Neil hit on some of the larger numbers of revenue that we're very proud of, but all of those fall back into the fact that the hard work that these gentlemen do with their staff each day. It's a 363-day operation for our city. We close on Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. Any other time, it's open for play as long as the weather allows. And we're seeing a lot of new faces out. We've had over 33,000 rounds played, so that means 33,000 people annually are coming out to the golf course to play. And it's a hidden gem sometimes for our community to understand an asset that we have now within our recreation department, and we're just proud of all the work that these gentlemen have done continually each day, but also for their entire career. So thank you for this recognition and honor, Mayor, and we look forward to being open tomorrow and ready for play. Thank you.
Adam, Jason. No, y'all do a great job.
Our next proclamation is Hunger Action Month. Councilmember Peyton Williams will do this one for us.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to invite Mr. Eric Aft up. Eric is the CEO of Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwestern North Carolina. I'm honored to have him here. While we read this proclamation, you want to stay?
Thank you.
This is a proclamation for Hunger Action Month. Whereas hunger and food insecurity continue to affect millions of individuals and families across our nation, impacting their health, well-being, and quality of life. And whereas Hunger Action Month is a time to raise awareness about the critical issue of hunger and to encourage collective action to address this pressing need. And whereas food banks, community organizations, and volunteers play a vital role in providing nutritious food to those in need and advocating for policies that promote food security. And whereas it is essential for all members of our community to come together to support efforts to end hunger and ensure that everyone has access to sufficient nutritious food. And whereas by participating in Hunger Action Month, we can make a significant impact through donations, volunteerism, and advocacy, helping to create a future where no one goes hungry. Now therefore, Mayor Raleigh York Jr. hereby proclaims September 2025 as Hunger Action Month in Thomasville and urges all citizens to join in this effort to fight hunger and support those in need. And that is signed Raleigh York Jr. and fixed with the seal. So I will give that to you. Thank you so much.
Councilmember Williams, Mayor York, and members of the council, we are very pleased and honored to be here tonight to accept this proclamation. The citizens, residents of Thomasville are devoted to what this represents, that commitment to ensuring, as what is on our building, that everyone deserves to eat. It is a statement about creating a stronger community that you live out every day. Second Harvest Food Bank is not only very proud to have a partner that Councilmember Williams leads in CCM, but also 31 programs here in Davidson County, and I will point out 13 of those are in Thomasville. This is a symbol of our commitment, along with the 2.4 million pounds of food that we invested here in Davidson County this past year. There's a commitment that is ongoing as we work together to ensure that our residents have the food that they need to thrive and to succeed, whether it's the children in school or our parents, our seniors, our veterans. We are here to work collaboratively with you. Thank you for this honor, and we will live up to it every single day. Thank you.
We are now down to our consent agenda, and I will recognize our city manager, Michael Brandt.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight's consent agenda consists of the following items. Item A is consideration of minutes of the briefing meeting that was held on July 14th, 2025. Item B is consideration of minutes of the council meeting on July 21st, 2025. Item C is consideration of the following road closure ordinances. The first is Everybody's Night, which is scheduled for September 26th and is sponsored by the Tourism Commission. The next is Everybody's Day, which is scheduled for September 27th, and that is sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. The next item is Light Up the Holidays Festival on November 22nd, which is sponsored by Beautification Commission. The next is December 13th, which is the Christmas Parade, sponsored by the Tourism Commission. The next item is the Star of Bethlehem Nativity, which is December 13th and 14th, and that is sponsored by Memorial United Methodist. And the last item is Chair City Christmas, which is scheduled for December 19th, which is sponsored by Mount Zion Church. That is your consent agenda for this evening.
Thank you very much. What's the pleasure of council?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented by our city manager.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, you may record your vote. Okay, we have 5-0. That has been unanimously approved. Okay, we're now down to our regular agenda. The first item is consideration of budget amendment 2026-P2-01. I recognize our finance director, Thomas Avant.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This budget amendment appropriates $17,500 from general fund contingency to cover the city's matching costs required for administration of the Uniland Project Atlantis B Building Reuse Grant Project from the North Carolina Department of Commerce. Additionally, $99,015, of which $64,015 will be transferred from general fund contingency, will be appropriated for the city's contribution to the ICMA Senior Mobility Leaders in Government Grant Project. The general fund contingency balance is now $318,485. The city was awarded a Rural Economic Development Division grant of $350,000 for expenditures related to the expansion of Uniland's manufacturing facility in Thomasville, located at 550 Cloninger Drive. Grant funds will be used toward the construction of a new building on the southwest corner of the existing facility and will add 105,000 square feet of additional manufacturing space. The proposed property consists of approximately 1.6 million square feet of manufacturing space on approximately 64 acres. $9,480 of grant funding from the North Carolina Association of Chiefs of Police is appropriated in the police department for the purchase of essential personnel software, which will assist the Thomasville Police Department's law enforcement agency accreditation process. The budget amendment requires council approval. Thank you.
For action.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve Budget Amendment 2026-P2-01.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, you may record your vote. And it's 5-0, unanimous vote. Thank you. Now down to item B, consideration of grant project ordinance, Unilin Atlantis B, Building Reuse Grant Project. Mr. Avan again.
This ordinance establishes a budget and appropriates funding for the Unilin Project Atlantis B Building Reuse Grant Project with funding from the North Carolina Department of Commerce Rural Economic Development Division. The project budget totals $367,500, and it includes a $350,000 state grant award and a $17,500 city contribution for grant administration costs. This is the third state building reuse grant Unilin has received through the city for construction and expansion of its manufacturing facility in Thomasville. The ordinance requires council approval.
And what's the pleasure of council?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the grant project ordinance, Unilin Atlantis B Building Reuse Grant Project.
Is there a second?
Second.
Now, is there any discussion? Okay, you may record your vote. And we have a 5-0 unanimous vote, so that has been approved. Thank you. We have item C next, consideration of grant project ordinance, ICMA Senior Mobility Leaders in Government Grant. I'm going to recognize our Deputy City Manager, Mr. Eddie Bowling, for this one.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Tonight, before consideration is grant project ordinance supporting the ICMA Senior Mobility Leaders in Government Grant. The Economic Mobility and Opportunity Special Assistant Grant provides dedicated support to local governments and community organizations working to advance economic growth. This grant funds the placement of a special assistant to coordinate cross-sector partnerships, align resources, and drive initiatives that expand access to opportunity, strengthen workforce, pathways, and improve long-term mobility for residents. This is based on 7 core pillars: education and skill development, employment and workforce opportunities, income and financial stability, health and well-being, housing and neighborhoods, social capital and community networks. Lastly, economic governments or equitable governments and policy. The grant total is $341,500 on behalf of the Gates Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Defer to council for action.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the ICMA Senior Mobility Leaders in Government Grant. And this is a big deal, folks. This is a big deal to get this position, and to thank Deputy Manager Bowling for all his hard work in putting this thing together.
Is there a second?
I second that, and definitely thank you to Eddie for really working to find this grant money and also working for other grants. But like Neil said, this is really going to be a major deal for our community to really make sure that we are prioritizing economic development and really ensuring that we are meeting that strategic goal that when we're talking about with Senior Economic Mobility Director. So big kudos to Eddie and to our departments for working with this.
Any further comments or questions?
I want to point out that this did not happen without several other incredibly successful projects through ICMA that I know Eddie was instrumental in, as well as several other people in the city. And if those hadn't gone as well as they did, we would not have been considered for this incredibly competitive grant. We definitely wouldn't have gotten it. So good job, you guys.
Okay, anything else?
It is exciting.
Yeah. Okay, if there's no other comments, you may record your votes. And the vote is 5-0, so that has been approved unanimously. We're now down to item D, consideration of transitioning the elementary school resource officer position to a community resource officer position. Chief Carter with Police Department.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'd like to request council's support to reclassify an existing elementary school resource officer position into a community resource officer role within the Thomasville Police Department. This transition will not result in any additional cost to the city, as it simply repurposes an already budgeted position. The CRO will serve as a visible, accessible liaison between the department and the public, helping to build trust, organize community events, assist businesses, lead neighborhood safety efforts, and connect at-risk individuals with resources. I believe this shift will strengthen our department's ability to proactively meet community needs and enhance the quality of life in Thomasville without placing any burden on the city budget. Thank you for your consideration of this request, as well as your continued support for the Thomasville Police Department.
Thank you very much. Defer to Council Cratchit.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to not approve the consideration of the transition of the elementary school resource officer position to the community resource officer position.
Say that one more time. I think.
I make a motion not to approve the consideration of the transitioning of the elementary school resource officer.
Okay, the motion is to not approve this transition.
Can I ask
Is there
a
a second?
question?
Is there a second? I don't hear a second, so that motion dies for lack of a second. Now, is there another motion?
Can I ask a follow-up question
Sure.
from the chief? Chief, do you mind coming back up? I want to make sure I'm clear on this. The reason that the officer is not staying as an SRO, is that because the school system wouldn't pick up the salary?
Sure, it's unfortunately due to a lack of funding from the school system to support a third SRO at the elementary school. Obviously, school safety is a priority of the police department as well as the city, but unfortunately at this time the school's not able to support a funding for a third SRO position.
Thank
you.
Can you stay up here? Can you talk a little bit about the importance of the community liaison position for an officer and kind of what we're missing not having that position filled right now?
Currently, we do not have a community liaison position, and so unfortunately that task kind of falls on everyone in the department. And so, we look at it, if it's everyone's job, sometimes it's no one's job. And so what we need is a contact that the community can reach out to in the event there's community needs, safety needs, creating community neighborhood watches, business watch programs, especially for our downtown, because we know that's an initiative of council as well as the city to redevelop our downtown district. And so what we're looking at is we want to make sure that's a safe place for folks to come, visit, and work. And so it's important that we have a community resource officer that helps with that task. And so just to be a liaison between the police department and the community and meet those needs. You better learn what the needs are of the community. And so we see that as an important goal of the police department and to also improve the quality of life for Thomasville.
And thank you so much, Chief,
Sure.
for that. I definitely want to clarify. I definitely believe in the community resource officer position.
Sure.
My hesitation for this move is being proactive in situations that we know the statistics are not going down when it comes to school shootings and school-related accidents, when it comes to folks getting their hands on firearms and making their way into public access buildings. And so as myself, I really think, and I love the idea of, getting us this community resource position and hearing that the shortfall for the finances for the Thomasville City Schools, I'm definitely understanding of that position. But for me, as a council member, I think it's really important for us in that proactiveness to really figure out it's not going to be the kind of situation for us if a situation happens and then we don't have it and we could have had it there. I understand that the resources were not allocated from their position, but for our position, I think it is really important for us to look at it in a way to figure out if there's a way for us to keep the position within our primary school, which is our very vulnerable students and staff, while also making sure that we can definitely fill this need within our community resource position. I don't want to or feel the need to have to choose either or.
We had an SRO in the school for a year, right? And which entity paid that salary? We did, so the city. And that was a conversation we had a year ago, correct, where we could make that concession for a year, right? So I'm like, the year's up.
Chief, who pays for the other two officers that are currently still in the school system? So what actually happened was we added a third. They could not afford to pay for that at that time. So the city agreed to pay for it for 1 year only, hoping that the next year they'd be able to pick up the tab like they do the other two officers. Is that accurate?
That is correct. And because, school safety is a priority. And so we felt like, based on some reclassing of positions that we did, that we went through some restructuring, we were able to provide that position at least for a year with the hopes that the school system could pick up that funding.
There's a long history of the school system paying for those officers.
That is correct, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, do I have a motion on this item?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the transitioning the elementary school resource officer position to a community resource officer position.
Is there a second?
Second.
Now, any further discussion? Okay, you may record your vote. Okay, we have a 4-1 vote. Councilmember Johnson is the no vote, and so the item has been approved. Okay, we're now down to item E, consideration of ordinance to extend the corporate limits of Thomasville to include 129 Kennedy Road. At our last meeting, we held a public hearing for this item. I don't believe we had anyone that came to speak for or against. Is there anyone here tonight that was not at that meeting that came to speak to that tonight, maybe? Don't see anyone, so we tabled that item until this meeting because of the fact that the Davidson County Commissioners had not taken up that annexation, and they need to approve it before we do because we have to have their approval. So on August the 11th, the Davidson County Commissioners approved the annexation of 129 Kennedy Road. So this is on our agenda again tonight for us to approve this annexation. So what is the pleasure of council?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion to approve the ordinance to extend the corporate limits of Thomasville to include 129 Kennedy Road.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion second. Any discussion?
I'll just say we could have done this like 2 months ago, but the state changed the rule. The small government state changed the rule so that now the county has to approve decisions like these when prior they were just up to council and up to the city. So that's why this took so long. And unfortunately, I think we're going to see more of it because we're going to continue to grow. So.
Any other discussion? Okay, you may record your vote. We have 5 affirmative votes, so that has been approved unanimously. We're now down to item 7, the added item, closed session for personnel and attorney-client. And I will need a motion to go into closed session.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make the motion to go into closed session for attorney-client and personnel.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, you may record your vote. And we have 5-0, so we will go now into closed session for these 2 items.